everyone, thanks very much for joining Two Awesome Dads Adventures. My name is Jeff, and in this episode we're going to talk about the installation of the Altrider skid plate on the BMW R1250GS. Now, you may ask yourself, doesn't it already come with one? You're right, it does. It comes with one like this. Now, that's a bit small if you're going to do any kind of off-roading. Now, it's fine if you're going to use your bike principally for riding to work on the pavement. This will probably do. However, from my experience, you want something a bit more robust, a little bit bigger. Now, I have a 2009 R1200GS. It has an aftermarket skid plate, quite a bit bigger. Underneath, it's got all kinds of nicks and grooves from all kinds of things that have happened going off-road. Now, if that weren't there, that kind of impact, that kind of damage would have translated to underneath the engine. Bad news, chaos, a little bit of crying. You don't want that. It's well worth to invest the money in having a more robust, a larger size skid plate to protect underneath the engine of the bike. So in this episode, we're going to take the Altrider that's specifically designed for this bike, the Altrider skid plate, and we're going to unwrap it, take a look at all the parts that came with it. We're going to lay out the tools that are necessary for the install, and then we're going to do the install itself. Okay, install time. First of all, I want to reference that Altrider has provided some pretty good instructions to follow. Step number one, we want to take these two bolts out. These are Torx 50. So I've already pre-loosened them. We need to take these out because we have a plate that has been provided for this install. There's one for the right and one for the left. They're both very different. I think it'd be very difficult to get them cross installed. So now, according to the instructions, we don't require to tighten them up. That's one of the last things, in fact, we have to do. So we're just going to get them snug, lined up and snug. Comparison, you'll see it is quite a bit of different shape. So again, I don't think you could mix them up, pretty straightforward. That's not one of the clearest parts of the instructions. So I'm just going to do them finger tight, and then I'm going to go to the other side and do the exact same thing, and then move on to the next step. Okay, so now we're doing the left side install here. We're going to take out that snap ring and push out this extension. Now you see we have a bit more room to work with here on the left hand side than we did on the right hand side because of the brake pedal. So the first thing we've got to do is get out this lovely C-clip or spring. So you need to remove the snap ring here. That's the first thing. Then try to use the designated tool for it. Not having a lot of luck with that. Oops, there we go. Imagine that, you use the right tool and it came off. Where exactly? I'm not sure. There it is. Didn't go too far. There's the snap ring. It's off. Next, what we want to do is going to push this extension out here. We don't want to push it all the way though, because if we do, we're in for a heap of trouble. So you can see it just starts to push in. So I've taken the extension provided by Altrider, I put in some anti-seize lubricant on it. So I'm just going to press it. There we go. That went a little faster than expected. So that's a plastic one that's provided by BMW. Now it's been replaced by the Altrider's version, a metal one. And then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so here's the skid plate. There's the spot where we're going to put the bolt through. Now, I erroneously mentioned earlier that there'd be a nut. Well, there's a threaded insert inside the skid plate itself that the bolt and washer will go through. So there's one for each side. Put the Loctite already on it. I'm going to insert it here. I'm going to thread the bolt and washer in there. And again, we're just going to put it on loosely, and then we'll line up the others and begin putting them together. Okay, so back on the right-hand side, got that bolt here. Now this is a hex head number 5. We got the Loctite on there. So here we are, line up that spot there, find the insert. There we go. Again, we're only going to just get this hand tightened up before we proceed with the rest of the install. There we go. Okay, now we've got the rear of the skid plate in place. Remember, we want to hand tighten that bolt for now. Go up to the front. Now we have a bolt on either side, left and right. Starting here off with the right side. It's a hex head number 8. So we put it in the thread that's already here inside the bike itself. It's got a washer. We put on the thread locker already. So we're only going to put it in loosely. Not going to tighten it all up. There we go. Then I go on the left-hand side. I'm going to replicate what I did over here, and then we'll move on to putting the bolts on to the brackets. All right, next step. After we put in the 2 front bolts, we're going to go to the brackets, starting here on the right-hand side. We use a hex head number 6 for this. You'll see the first of the 2 I've already put in there. So there's the bolt, washer, and then there's the nut. So just there we go. Now we're not really going to do this more than finger tight at this point, and because we're going to be installing the Altrider lower and upper bars, at this point we're going to leave these loose for now on both the right and left side. Just finger tight. As I mentioned before, we're going to install the lower and upper Altrider crash bars, and they form an integral part of this bracket system as well. So for now, that completes the install of the Altrider skid plate. Take 6. Hey everyone, thanks for joining 2 Awesome Dads. My name is... Take 7. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here at 2 Awesome Dads Adventures. My name is Jody. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here at 2 Awesome Dads Adventures. My name is Jeff, and tonight... Stop. Cut.